Greetings, this is Raymond Lavine. Welcome to Planning with Purpose. Here's today's topic, the looming crisis with the availability of caregivers for those who will need caregiving and those who will be responsible for caregiving. Unless families are willing to be full or part-time caregivers, it is difficult and expensive to hire capable and experienced caregivers. The $15 to $20 hourly wages are now $35 and more depending on where you live. Employment isn't a problem only for caregiving jobs. I view postings for jobs at hospitality and service businesses, or I read on the door, business hours are reduced because of employee staffing. Whether your caregiving is at home, assisted living, or nursing homes, experienced and trained caregiving staff have become difficult to hire because of wages, the challenges of the work, and oftentimes transportation to travel to the home or to the assisted nursing or cognitive care facility. My mother needed caregiving for 18 years and was fortunate to be able to live at her home because she was able to find and pay capable caregivers, and they had the transportation to be with her at her home. She also had a bedroom available for them. Here are 4 things to know about caregiving shortages. First, people who are not retired. Younger people who are recovering from accidents, health issues such as cancer, stroke, heart attack, neurological diseases, and other illnesses. And of course, we think of caregiving mostly for the aging population. The primary driver is the rapid growth of the aging population. As more people reach retirement age, whatever retirement may be, the demand for care services rises because of frailty, meaning aging, various health issues, or accidents such as falling, causing broken hips or other injuries. Another reason that caregiving costs have gone up and staffing is the preference for most people to be at home. Many individuals prefer caregiving in their homes rather than care centers, meaning assisted care, nursing, or cognitive services. One of the other things that is that if you're in a care facility, the ratio may be 1 to 5 or 10 or 15, but at home the ratio is 1 to 1, which is another reason why if more people want to be at home, fewer caregivers. Number 3 is limited access to care. The shortage makes it difficult for individuals and family to find qualified caregivers, potentially leading to inadequate care or increased reliance on family support. Parents with young children are in the same situation. Fewer spots at child care location and a shortage of certified child care employees. Increased costs. As demand outpaces supply, caregiving services expenses are rising, putting financial strain on individuals and families. Burnout and turnover. Existing caregivers face increased workloads and stress, contributing to burnout and high turnover rates, further contributing to the shortage. What can we do about improving the caregiving shortage? Improving wages and benefits, making caregiving careers financially attractive and incentivize individuals to enter and remain in the field. Investing in workforce development, training and educational opportunities will create more skilled and qualified care workers. State and federal legislation to provide funds for people to attend in-person or online community college to become certified in home and care center caregiving. Reducing the barriers to entry, streamlining certification process, and offering flexible work arrangements will encourage people to become certified part or full-time caregivers. Now, and one of the most important things is, how do you support a caregiver? People need to own a personal long-term care plan to pay for home caregiving or care center caregiving. In addition, companies, as part of their employee benefits, need to offer long-term care benefits. Here's a story. I learned from my mother how she hired and was able to retain her caregivers. She said, you have to learn how to work with a caregiver. You must explain what you want from them to make them feel comfortable and welcome in your home. Sometimes the first caregiver or the second caregiver doesn't work out, so you try another. Keep in mind, caregivers are people who are helping you with your daily activities. They are not just the help who you can order to do what you want. Be kind, be considerate, and help your caregiver help you with your daily activities. Caregiving thoughts to know. It may seem obvious, but people forget that a caregiver is a person who helps you when you are at your most vulnerable. You may be afraid that you are no longer able to be self-sufficient, and you are not used to having a person be available with helping you with bathing, dressing, driving you to places, and perhaps helping you with medical needs. Okay, here are 4 things to know about caregiving. The first is the caregiving issue for people who are not retired. We don't usually think of people needing long-term care or for people who are younger, but it happens more often than you may think. People have accidents, people get cancer, people have strokes, people have heart attacks, people develop neurological diseases, or they fall off a skateboard or a bicycle, or they have a car accident, and which may cause long periods of home caregiving services. My father in his life had long-term care needs for 3 times. One when he was in a automobile accident and severely hurt his back. The second time when he had a serious heart attack. And those were extended periods of time. Actually, there was a third where he fell off a horse and broke his hip and his arm, and he was at home for a year. And this was long before he ever considered retiring. So caregiving can last a long time, long before your age 65. And of course, then there's the aging population, meaning those who are what we think of 65 and older, that have frailty. They have health issues. It might be cognitive, it might be a form of dementia. They may fall because of mobility issue, and they have broken hips or other injuries, or eyesight, and they're not able to drive, and they need somebody to help them with transportation. One of the things in the aging population is, if you look around you, there are a lot of people that have mobility issues, and with mobility issues, it usually requires that you have somebody helping you with your daily activity. Finally, the preference for home care. COVID made a difference as far as people that did not want to stay at a care center. They wanted to stay at home because they felt it was safer and they were less likely to get COVID. So even though care centers are still available, whether it's assisting, nursing home, or cognitive care, more and more people prefer to stay at home because it's where they live. It's what they know, and they're afraid to go to a place that might have staffing issues. They may be worried about diseases they can get, or that they might feel isolated. One of the things to keep in mind is, just because you want to stay at home, if you don't have care services, people to help you, whether it's paid care or family or friends, it's very possible that you could be isolated and be in a worse situation than if you're in a care center. Number 2, the availability of caregivers. One of the reasons that caregiving or caregivers, there's a caregiver shortage, is because of low wages and benefits. Caregiving jobs often offer low wages, limited benefits, and demanding schedules, making it challenging to attract and retain qualified workers. And this is a issue that is in many fields, hospitality, service industry, farming, and a lot of other, low-wage industries. They're having a staffing shortage because if people are qualified, they will want better jobs, better working conditions, and certainly better benefits. Number three, the limited access to care for caregivers. The shortage makes it difficult because at the moment we're having a very good economy for individuals and families to find qualified caregivers, potentially leading to inadequate care or increased reliance on family support. One of the reasons that there is a caregiver shortage is because more and more people, as I said previously, want home care services. So the ratio then becomes 1-to-1 versus if you're at a care center, the ratio might be 1-to-5 or 1-to-7 or 1-to-10. And most people, when they want their caregiving, they want it now. I remember my mother with her caregivers, when she wanted something, she wanted it now. She was not the type of person to want to wait for somebody to help her with some care issue. Just to give an example, parents with young children are in the same situation. Fewer spots at child care locations and a shortage of certified child care employees. Now, that problem sort of began to exist even more during COVID when parents were home and could take care of the kids, and it worked and it sort of didn't work because when they had to, if you, depending on the age of your children, sometimes you had to, if you were working, your child wanted something, you had to stop and then take care of your child's needs. Now, as more and more people are returning to work, meaning going to an office or some work location, that child care services is more needed than ever, but there's a shortage of um, child locations and a shortage of certified child care employees. The increased costs. As demand outpaces supply, care services expenses are rising, putting financial strain on individuals and family, meaning that if there are fewer caregivers, they're going to want more money. And as I said previously, the $15 to $20 to $25 an hour caregiver is now 35, 40, 50, depending on the level of expertise. And also, one of the things that also adds to caregiving services is what are your care needs? If your care needs are you just need basic health care, the type of caregiver might not be as expensive as somebody that has more caregiving experience or is a certified, a registered nurse, or has nursing training. And many people need, especially if they're at home, they will need to spend more money because the type of care that they need and the level of expertise is more expensive. And finally, there's the burnout and turnover. Existing caregivers face increased workloads and stress, contributing to burnout and high turnover rates, further contributing to the shortage. And again, it has to do with people in the healthcare business, not just what level of caregiver, what is the certification, what are your home health care needs? Do you need bandage changes? Do they need to give injections? Are there other medical issues that only a nurse practitioner or registered nurse may need? One of the reasons is because a lot of times, depending on somebody's health issues, they're not always able to go to a doctor's office or urgent care, that it's more convenient, more efficient to have somebody come to the house. If you come to the house, there's going to be a higher fee. The fourth are recommendations to improve the caregiving shortage, improving wages and benefits, making caregiving careers financially attractive, and incentivize individuals to enter and remain in the field. Remember, it has to do with the level of training for your caregiver based on what your caregiving needs are. If you're at home, you may need, based on your age and your health conditions, just a regular caregiver may not be sufficient. You need to have somebody that has more training, which then the um, hourly wages are going to be higher. Investing in workforce development, training and educational opportunities will create more skilled and qualified caregivers. State and federal legislation to provide funds for people to attend in person or in the community college to become certified in home and care center caregiving. Reducing barriers to entry, streamlining certification process, and offering flexible work arrangements will encourage people to become certified part or full-time caregivers. So how do you support caregivers? People need to own a personal long-term care plan to pay for home caregiving or care center caregiving. In addition, companies, as part of their employee benefits, should offer long-term care benefits. Here's a story. I learned from my mother how she hired and was able to retain her caregivers. You have to learn, what she told me is you have to learn how to work with a caregiver. You must explain what you want from them to make them feel comfortable and welcome in your home. Sometimes the first caregiver doesn't work out, so you try another. Keep in mind, caregivers are people who are helping you with your daily activities. They are not just the help, who you can order to do what you want. Be kind, be considerate, and help your caregiver help you with your daily activities. Other caregiving thoughts to consider. It may seem obvious, but people forget that a caregiver is a person who helps you when you are feeling most vulnerable. You may be afraid that you are no longer able to be self-sufficient, and you're not used to having a person be available with helping you with bathing, dressing, driving you to places, and perhaps helping you with medical needs. And again, it depends on the family. Some people will tell me, oh yes, my parents were self-sufficient. They always did things the way they wanted. And that was fine so long as they could make the decisions and they were able to take care of their daily activities. If that's not available, they're going to have to change, and family is going to need to be involved to help them to make that transition where you need a part or full-time caregivers. And if that doesn't help, then one of my recommendations that I make to people or to clients is get outside help, meaning a gerontologist or a mental health person, whether it's a psychologist or a psychiatrist, to have the conversation. One of the things that is, that happens to people, especially who have health needs or cognitive needs, is they become depressed, and and with depression brings isolation and sometimes further health issues. So don't be afraid to have conversations or hire people that can help your loved ones, whether it's yourself or spouse or partner or family, to include professional caregivers, or not caregivers, professional people that are involved in family mental health issues, to help you as the spouse or partner or family member to help those that need caregiving. Looking forward, addressing caregiving requires a multi-pronged approach involving collaboration between government agencies, healthcare providers, and families. Investing in the caregiving workforce and creating a more supportive environment can ensure that individuals receive the care they need while building a sustainable care system for the future. Here's where you can contact me, Raymond Lavine. My phone number is area code 253-275-6091, or go to my website, www.lavineltcins.com. Please subscribe to Planning with Purpose, the Prepared Caregiver. Experience a beautiful day in your neighborhood. Thanks for listening and watching this podcast.